Okay, so for this lab assignment, this is going to be a short lab. We're going to look at a packet analyzer called TCP dump. So you can think of TCP dump as the command line version of Wireshark. Now, usually a lot of times TCP dump is used with Wireshark. TCP dump is used for gathering the packets, and then Wireshark is used for analyzing them and filtering them. Okay. So what we're going to do in this lab is we're going to create a simple website here on Kali, and then we're going to host it using the Python web server. Then we're going to turn on TCP dump, and we're going to analyze or sniff or capture any packets that travel through the source port of 8080, because that'll be the port we use for the web server. And then we'll connect to Metasploitable and retrieve the test website that we built, and we'll see those packets traveling, and we'll capture them using TCP dump, and then we'll analyze them using Wireshark afterwards. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm here in Kali already. I already have my three virtual machines running. I have Kali, I have pfSense, I have Metasploitable. So I'm going to do ls here. You may have a set of different folders than I do, but these are the folders I have here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to, I think, my documents. So I'm going to go cd documents. Okay, ls. Okay, I don't have anything in my documents. So then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make a website directory, kdir, and I'm going to call it website. Okay. And then I can do ls. My website is here. I'm going to clear that. I'm going to change directories. I'm going to go into that website folder or directory. And then I'm just going to create a very simple web page. I'm going to use the echo command for that. So I'm going to do echo. And then I'm going to do h1. I'm going to do hello world. Hello world. Then I'm going to close my h1 tag. And I'm putting it in single quotes. And then I'm going to send that to a file called main.html. Okay, so I do ls. I have my file there. All right. Then I'm going to run the Python 3 web server. So Python 3-m. And then I'm going to do http.server 8080. All right. So now my web server is running. Okay. So I'm going to let that run. I'm going to open a new tab. And from here, let me get my IP address real quick. So ipconfig. Okay, so the IP address here is 192.168.1.101. Yours might be different, so I'll leave that there in case I need to reference it again. I'm going to open another tab, and here, this is where I'm going to use TCP dump. And for TCP dump, I want to do the capture, but I want to save it to a pcap file, so that way I can open that pcap in Wireshark. So I'm going to do sudo TCP dump, and then I'm going to specify the interface that I want to listen on. So in this case, my web server is on this guy, ETH0, so I'm going to use that. So ETH0. And then I'm going to do V for verbose, so I can see some stuff here on the screen. I'm going to do src. I'm going to do port. And what port did I use for the web server? I used 8080, so I'm going to put that here. Source port 8080. So when you come in 8080, I want to capture it. And before I write to a file, that's just a few extra commands you type here. I want you to see the output of how it looks without capturing it to a file. So you'll see that just what it looks like. So I'm gonna put in the Cali as a password. Cali. Okay, so it's running. It's listening. Okay. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go to Metasploitable, and I'm gonna log in. Password is msfadmin, and then msfadmin. Okay, clear. And here I'm going to retrieve the website. So for that I'm going to do wget. I'm going to do http://. In this case the IP address for my web server is 192.168.1.101. And then I'm going to do port 8080. And then I want that web page that I made called main.html. Okay. I'm going to press enter. And you'll see I received that main.html, and I was able to capture that traffic here. So you'll see the flags, the synac, all that stuff. So you'll get all that information here. However, I try and analyze it from this text here is very challenging. So usually it's better that you save it in a PCAP file instead, and then open it in Wireshark, and then you can make better use of this information. So I'm going to do Control C here in Kali, and then it tells you here how many packets it captured. It only captured 5. So that's the other thing about TCP dump that I like, that you can be very specific about what you want. Whereas if you're running Wireshark to do a capture, it's going to capture everything, and then you got to go back later and sort it out and filter it, which is you can do. But I like this because it's just, gets the main things that you want. So let me go ahead and clear this real quick. Okay. And okay, so what I want to do now is I'm going to run the same command. So I'm going to press the up key. But this time I want to save it to a file. So I'm going to do -W to write. I'm going to call it test.pcap. And then once we save that PCAP file, then we can open that in Wireshark and take a look at it. Okay. I'm going to press enter. So now it's listening again. Go back to Metasploitable. Reissue the same command. Press enter. Okay, you see it changed. It got to 5. That's what it says. It got 5. So go ahead and hit Control C. Does it captured 5? Do ls. And you'll notice there's the test PCAP there. I probably should have done this in the documents folder, but that's okay. We'll just do it there. That's fine. Okay. So now we can open that in Wireshark. So Wireshark, then I'll do test.pcap, and then that should open in Wireshark. There you go, and it opens automatically. And you'll notice here you have your packets. You don't have that many. You want to filter it out. Let's say you don't want to capture the handshake information. You just want the HTTP information. You can do that. And then you can, of course, right-click, follow TCP stream, and it shows you the website there. Okay, and had it been more complex website with more information, you'd see all that here. But you see how it's only just 5 packets. So this is great for experimenting, great for just capturing certain information. I know sometimes Wireshark can be, at least for me, I find it very overwhelming sometimes with all the information and things that are going on, and so I like this that it's a little bit simpler, and you just capture the packets that you need. So go ahead and close that, and that's pretty much how you use TCP dump. Now here in this area, this is where you can change out different things. So let's say you want a different source port or source IP address, or you want a different destination. So you can look online and find out what are the different filters that you can put here, and that way you can get different information depending on what your needs are. Right? This is just one example. Okay, so another thing I wanted to show you was how to access the graphical user interface for pfSense in the event that you ever have to make any sort of changes or you want to see whatever features it has. So let me show you how to do that real quick. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and close out the terminal. I don't need that anymore for now. And then I'm going to go to Mozilla Firefox. Okay. I'll get start new session. Okay, so remember that the IP address for pfSense it's running right now. The IP address is 192.168.1.1. So you can do that. So 192.168.1.1. Okay, and then you'll get this message here. And then you go to advanced and you go and accept the risks. And it'll take you to the pfSense login. So you're logged into that router now. And then the default password, which you should, if you're going to use this in real life, you should definitely change. So it's going to be admin and then pfSense. Okay. And then, yeah, even here it gives you a warning about changing that default password. But since here we're just testing it out, it's not a big deal. Okay. And it's got a lot of different options here. You're welcome to go through all of them and see. The textbook shows the traffic graphic, so you can look at that. But there's other stuff here that you can test out, and there's help information. You know, pretty neat that it has all of this. So this is something you may want to look at into the future, maybe something that you want to use for yourself. So I encourage you to go through this and look at it and see what features it has and try some out. Okay. So with that, let me close this. And the last thing I wanted to show you was the textbook provided a set of, it provided a PCAP file that has a set of packets from the ARP spoof attack that we had done last time, but they had done one themselves, and they captured that information. So you can download that and analyze it to see, you know, how the ARP spoof, what packets it generates, how it looks. So we can do that really quickly. So let me go ahead and go to the terminal here, and this time I'm going to go to the documents folder. So documents, ls. I think we just have our website there. Okay. So then we can get the PCAP files from the book. We're going to use git clone. So I'm going to do git. I can spell correctly. Git clone. Then I'm going to do https://github.com/the-ethical-hacking-book. And then here, this part will change. This is going to be ARP-PCAP-files. Okay. And I believe it is case sensitive, so you want to be careful with that. Alright, so once you do that, go ahead and download. Should take a little bit to download, not too long. Okay, so it would finish to download it. Do ls. Okay, so there's a folder now called ARP PCAP file. So let's go ahead and change directories. ARP PCAP files. and then ls, and there's our arpspoof.pcap, right? So this is good. You can download, because there's also example PCAPs of other types of cyber attacks that you can download and analyze this way and do your own network forensics on it so you can understand how they behave. So it's good practice. So I'm going to do Wireshark, and then I'm going to do ARP, and then just tab ARP spoof PCAP, and then I'm going to press enter, and that should open up in Wireshark. Now, you're going to get all kinds of broadcast messages and DHCP and everything on the network. Okay. But in this case, I want just the information about address resolution protocol, so about ARP. So you can filter it. You can put a filter here. It's case sensitive, so just put ARP like that. And then now you get all the ARP messages. Okay. And then you can see where the attack starts and where they keep broadcasting the same thing over and over. But there's legitimate broadcasts, and then there's, or not broadcasts, but legitimate messages, and then there's ones where there's the duplicate where the poisoning starts. Okay, so like let's say, let's see, where is it? Like right here, right? You see, and you get that error message, the duplicate IP address detected, right? And you can actually just filter and retrieve just this information here. So let me go do ARP dot, and then there's a filter here, duplicate address detected, this one here, and then press enter, and then now it'll only give you the ARP messages for that are duplicated. Okay, where duplicate IP address detected, and then you know that's where you have a problem here. Alright, so that's just what I kind of wanted to show you, and then you can of course retrieve the information about the in this case, who's the MAC address for their computer, their victim machine, their host machine, their attacker machine. So you can retrieve all that information from going through these packets, right? And if you wanted to, you could even capture your own packets when you did the ARP spoofing attack and then compare their results with your results and see what they got and see what the differences are. All right. So that was the last thing I wanted to show you as part of this video. I want to thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you very much.